Foster.
I'm here.
Say his name and he appears. We believe in Noah.
Where's my camera bag? Somebody get my camera bag.
Noah, that's very inappropriate.
What? What are you talking about? I'm just drinking Mountain Dew. What?
No Mountain Dew allowed.
How dare you? That'll be the
What
day
about,
you will
what
never.
about Gator Light? Is Gator Light okay?
Perhaps.
Perhaps?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll find out in about 20 seconds.
Where's my Diet Coke?
You would drink a Diet Coke.
Man.
At least Aaron's drinking the right brand.
See, that's fair.
You're not a Pepsi guy? I'm telling you.
I am, but I work for Coca-Cola, so you're drinking the right product.
Oh, okay. Well, if we're doing that today, it's time for shills.
Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ review number 352. I am the moderator this week, the original review moderator, Virtue being joined by this week's elite panel, of course, Aaron Rift, Gino, fellow moderator, Noah Foster is here, Jeff Meacham is here, and TJ. Oh, wait, TJS was going to be here, and he flaked out yet again. We should have a super chat challenge tonight. The craziest, most bizarre TJS or funny things we can kind of rib him for all night long. He deserves it for sticking us. Just say you can't do it, right? If you're not sure about your work, just say I'm not available. Big G is the sixth member. Big G, what's up?
Nothing much. Celebrated my anniversary last week, my 4-year wedding anniversary. Went to go watch Conjuring Last Rites. Steelers won on Sunday, so that was good. And we got the return of a returning superstar, and we'll talk about that in the main event. But like I always say, let's get this ball rolling, baby.
All right, stay tuned. All right, Jeff? What's going on? You made it. You were like, I want to be on tonight, and I said, we got 6. And then I said, well, JS is one of them, so you have a shot, and here you are.
Yeah, I told Aaron I have to rely on Big G's internet crapping out, which didn't happen last week. So I was like, okay, probably not gonna happen. Then you mentioned TJS. I'm like, okay, I'm on. I better get better clothes on. So yeah, I'm here, still on the concussion protocol. Hence, I'm not purposely trying to copy Virtue. Just happens to work out that way. I love the cat. Love the cat. Sorry, that'll be Big G's cue later. Love the chat. Anyway, I'm excited as always to be on the NoDQ review. It's always good to be amongst the original family, and as Big G said, let's get it going.
All right, stay tuned. Noah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Virtue, NoDQ Galaxy and fam? Good to see you all once again on another Tuesday night. I'm feeling all right. It was a crazy day at work, but either way, got through all the madness and looking forward towards tonight's conversation as it continues to be a fun weekly tradition that I hope I can continue to do as long as work, transportation, and my mentality continues to hold up. So good to be back here, Virtue. I'm ready for what's ahead.
All right. Thank you. All right, Gino, co-moderator. How about you? What's up?
I'm feeling pretty good. My football team did not win this weekend, but that's okay. We've had a good week, or sandwiched of a weekend with wrestling and stuff to talk about. So I'm looking forward to that. And you'll be able to see my team right back there. I'll let you guys decide for yourself. And thank you for having me back on.
No problem. Aaron, what's up?
We're past Labor Day. We're now getting into the Halloween season. We got Wrestlepalooza coming up. We got AEW All Out coming up. And we have a big return to discuss and maybe some other topics. Chat room, leave your comments, leave your thoughts. Virtue, let's go ahead and get this one started.
All right, yeah, and no expectation, NoDQ Galaxy, especially if Psycho Jet Black is not here. I don't know, but the TJS thing. But if you want to roast him, go ahead and roast him tonight because he was supposed to be on. But our first topic, normally I don't lead off or talk much about AEW, but there's one person in particular who used to be the world champion, and I remember he was pushed quite heavily, and then he called the boss an effing mark, and I don't think it's ever been the same for him after that. I really don't. Like they all get pushed to the top. They have the run. I mean, Moxley has actually had the most run at the top of anybody, but MJF, I have to say at this point, he got the contract. He never went to WWE, so he's probably getting paid really well. But I mean, put in the Hurt Syndicate. Now he's out. I think they're ruining MJF, and I know he's probably like, well, I'm on TV, I'm getting paid. But when I see somebody like him go online, and I know it's a gimmick, right? So he can be a dick to everybody because that's when he's a heel. That's what his gimmick is. But he kind of looked silly the other day, saying Bully Ray, Bubba Ray Dudley is a nobody in the. And if you don't have any business you're going to do, why are you calling out a veteran who was a multiple tag team champion in 3 promotions, a main eventer? I know at the TNA level, but it made MJF's character, views himself on social media in the public, it made him look kind of like a lack of knowledge, like to call out a wrestler just because they're critiquing the company you work for. I figure MJF's more of the type that would just sit back and not say anything and just go out there and try to be the best he can on TV. But when I see these wrestlers defending their company, it's like in ways that doesn't like lead to business, I just feel like maybe he's mad about something else. Maybe he is mad about his position on the card and that he should be the world champion, not just in title matches here and there. What's everybody think about MJF right now? I really think that AEW, particularly Tony Khan, has ruined him. Should be the biggest star in your company. He got there, and then he kind of like fell back down because Tony wants to push all these other toys in his toy box. So Noah, you're the big AEW fan here more than anybody else. I mean, let's be honest, right? I think you are. I'm going to have you go first here. I want to hear what you have to say. You're probably thinking MJF's booked great. Go ahead.
Well, again, I'm not one to judge anyone's booking. At the end of the day, I just want to see talent succeeds and see the quality that they bring forward on my screen and out of the ring, on the mic, and wrestling. But it is a unique perspective you put out there, considering Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Right now, he is in one of those shorter, longer story stints with Mark Briscoe, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this match brings out at All Out. And congrats, by the way, to Kim and Alicia Atout getting married. But yeah, Maxwell Jacob Freeman doesn't seem like the say-all, be-all, end-all, and it does feel like that when he is there, they try to make it seem like a big deal, but maybe it's not. His booking has definitely been different since he's lost the AEW World Championship. Heck, it's been different ever since he re-signed. Originally said, I'm the Wolf of Rest because I'm not freaking leaving. And then we saw on the short run, that could have been kayfabe because everything's at work. He got the AEW removed tattoo from his legs. As far as the social media nonsense, the reactivity to someone's criticism, folks, it's a keyboard. It's not an actuality that you have to confront. Just stay in your lane and focus on what you need to do. And I do wonder if that, at the end of the day, is he looking for just more clickbait? Is he looking for more attention for AEW or more attention for himself? I honestly wonder how someone works themselves on the internet into a worse work than what we get on screen. But yeah, I'm kind of curious knowing MJF still has a guaranteed AEW World Championship contract 1 week in advance. But right now, he's in the feud with Mark Briscoe. And I look at the future of AEW. People like Kazuchika Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Sky Blue, Chris Statlander. I look at them as my front runners that I want to see succeed and lead AEW. And MJF, I feel, should be the guy to push those people, being one of the last original pillars of the company that is still relevant to a degree that hasn't burned every bridge imaginable, it seems, with management. But yeah, I'm curious how we go from here with MJF after the Mark Briscoe, you want to call it, debacle. And does he go back after Hangman? Do you slow burn that? What are we doing here? MJF is kind of like in his own place, but I don't have his own place of his own will. So I'm not sure what to say here at this point for MJF.
Look, Noah, when everybody's a main eventer or gets a piece of the pie, nobody's a main eventer. And that's a problem. I see that as a problem. And when you try to have like that core 4 or 5, he's one of them, and he should be pushed to the moon. Yeah. And I don't know, man. Like Jeff, you know how he operates. I'm going to come over to you next. Unless you're doing business with somebody, and Bully Ray's kind of married to the WWE right now with some of the things he's doing. Yes, Aaron.
I just wanted to mention this. I don't know if it's true or not, but MJF did go on X and say that he was not talking about Bully Ray. I don't know if we should believe him or not, but he denied that he was referring to Bully Ray in that post.
What's text but context, Aaron? At the end of the day, it's the internet.
Covering his ass. I mean,
it very well could be the case that he's just saying
look at the comment,
away
the
from him.
criticism. Yeah, I mean, he's covering his ass. But, Jeff, the point here that I'm trying to make with this topic is, has AEW, has Tony Khan, because he's the booker, ruined MJF?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, Aaron and I are responsible for MJF. He even said that when I interviewed him. It's all our fault that MJF exists because he was a fan of ours. Mine specifically, if you listen to Max. No. But yeah, I think him becoming the world champion and him organically being turned almost babyface by the AEW audience completely ruined MJF. I put in the comments, I still wonder to this day what would have happened had he not gone into the match with Samoa Joe at World's End as banged up as he was, because I think he would have continued as world champion. He needed that. He needed that time off. He needed to go get, the surgery or whatever he had done. I forget now. God, it feels like it's been longer than it actually has been because the world is moving so fast now. And yeah, Ian, he did come off 100% smart to the business when I visited him at OG Collectibles. And, he mentioned having watched, the NoDQ reviews and Talk Wrestling recaps, rather, in middle school. So he is knowledgeable. He is smart about the business. The problem is he's going that same direction that FTR has gone, that a lot of these guys that feel compelled to defend Tony Khan's almost nonsensical booking at their own expense. And MJF never did that. Yeah. He was always the guy that would just go out there and do his thing and be that asshole. And now he's not. Like he's still portraying the character on TV, but I think a lot of it is softened in terms of the way he interacts online now, because he just responds to everything. And he never used to do that.
And that's the thing, Jeff. I know he knows the business. I know he knows He paved the way and who's done what. Not everybody is a legendary main eventer their whole career. So
no,
him being, it doesn't matter, like doing what he does on X, that's just, it's out of character to him, unless he's doing it for a storyline purpose as his heel character. Because to me, I know he knows better, right? I know he knows how to position himself to look smart, to look to look tough, to look like a dick, right? Or whatever it needs to be to sell himself. I know he knows how to do that.
He does. He was 100% a grade A dick, even when praising me in the interview, he still, got the shots in because MJF did. Oh my God, did he ever? And man, he tore Mansfield to pieces over Mary Poppins, not even the business. So yeah, Max knows his shit. It's just, ever since he became champion, and to your point, going back to that promo in 2020 in June of 22, where he called Tony a mark, an effing mark, it's definitely been a decline. It's not been the same bad old MJF as it was.
So you're saying MJF basically hasn't been the same since World's End 2023 when Samoa Joe put him to sleep and he woke up back at Double or Nothing?
I would say it's been since he became the champion and the fans, unintentionally turned him babyface, Noah. We went into the thing where we had him on the interview that I did with him. I mean, it was more of a promo, but that I sent to Aaron. It was still seeming watered down enough where it's like, and then when he disappeared and there was a comment, the feud with Adam Cole that went absolutely nowhere did him no favors. Either one of them no favors, really.
Yeah, the whole devil angle after All In.
Like that's a thing. It's like Roman Reigns, right? When Roman Reigns is like, in these opening matches and stuff, just because time is being, biding time. But like you're like, no, it's not where he belongs. He belongs, especially as a special attraction, right? They only belong in the top matches. MJF, once he got to that world title thing, and then he's kind of like back down, and he did a little thing with Jeff Jarrett for a few weeks. Stop biding time just because you have so many wrestlers, Tony Khan, that you want to push to the main event. When you have a guy like MJF who can be generational, maybe he is, but definitely should be, book him that way and make him your Roman Reigns. I'm serious. I'm putting him over. I'm not burying him because I don't like his booking. I'm saying he should be the top of their show. if that was the case, and I'm watching these clips on social media and I'm seeing MJF, world champion, this or that, cutting heated promos all the time, I'm tuning into AEW.
Yeah.
I am tuning into AEW, but I'm not seeing that.
I'm going to totally make a company-related reference. MJF was one of the original pillars of the company. He's very much Woody, the toy cowboy. But Tony can't decide which of his new toys he wants to play and showcase more often. So, MJF's kind of feeling like he's been cast aside. But he's not cutting the promos to show that. He's just backing down and letting it happen. And it's bullshit.
Yeah, politics are way to the top. I don't care. I mean, it's
Seriously.
Stop being friends. A good wrestling locker room, everybody's headhunting each other.
Damn right.
Is he Lotso, Jeff?
No, that would be Wardlow because he's snake bit.
Oh.
Can't catch a break. So,
all right, Jeff, if you have anything else, we'll come back.
No, I'm good. I'm sorry. I agree.
I go to Big G before he falls asleep.
I'm good.
Big G. Go ahead.
He's just taking it all in.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I'm soaking it in, man. Yeah, going to MJF, it's been a while since I watched AEW. I'll still watch it occasionally here and then, like every other week or on social media. Yeah, the whole when he came back from his injury or whatever to feud with Adam Cole to continue that feud, that really went nowhere with him. And I feel like he not really lost in the shuffle, but if you want MJF to be your main guy, make him your main guy, push him to the top. Like you all mentioned, he's one of the 4 pillars of AEW when they first started. MJF has come a long way since the beginning of AEW. I started watching MJF shoot back in like 2017 when he was still on the indies. He would occasionally come to Maryland Championship Wrestling. And, MJF was even cockier on the indies when he was younger. He was so freaking cocky, and he's just taken that, and he still knows how to do kayfabe. A couple years ago when it's been a couple years, he was at a meet and greet signing, and he was just playing the cocky heel, little kids going up to him and stuff like that. He was giving the kids the middle fingers. The kids were giving him the middle fingers. He plays that character so well. And I feel like, Jeff, you mentioned, and even Virtue, you mentioned that, Tony has so many toys in the sandbox. He doesn't know who he wants to be the top guy next. And, the Death Rider storyline is kind of what turned me off from AEW. Besides Britt not being there, but MJF was also one of the reasons why I watched AEW. Because he was that cocky heel. He was the person. He played the character so well. You wanted to literally like punch your TV because he would not just shut up. And then Jeff, you mentioned earlier too. How like organically the crowd turned a babyface.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked for a while, but like. MJF should always be a heel. He's got this thing with Mark Briscoe going on now. So, we'll see where that leads at All Out. But I just hope Tony Khan figures out what to do next to MJF, because like MJF could eventually, once his contract comes up, Papa H is over there. His best friend Cody Rhodes is over there too in the WWE. So I wouldn't be surprised when his contract comes up, he's going to want to go to WWE.
Bidding war 2026 or 7? How long? I don't know. I don't care.
Oh, see, all right. Thanks, Big G. Gino,
Probably
I think
7.
I thought so.
So he's a very good wrestler. Yeah. He's not the prototypical Young Buck style, the Meltzer style. And I don't know, because Tony Khan looks at these at match ratings on Cage Match or whatever. And I feel when you're not as high as Tony Khan wants you to be, as Dave Meltzer wants you to be, that affects your booking. And that's the completely wrong way to book a wrestling show.
Yes.
And that MJF, to me, is one of the best wrestlers in AEW because he has his little spots that he does, but he also works slower, like a more classic heel, and he panders to the crowd, and the match slows down. There's more psychology. Like, I want to see more of that. And I feel like that, because he's not the other way as much, that, you know, the buddies backstage, well, MJF, we'll give you a taste of it. And then they talk to Tony, you know, and he gets pulled back. I know there's been, you know, the whole stuff that, I don't know, if he's had heat backstage back when Britt Baker was there. I know didn't his wife now do some stuff with AEW? But there's like a lot of weird backstage stuff too that I feel could affect some of this. But ultimately, I think it's just Tony Khan looks at cage match ratings or whatever that site is, and that affects who he pushes at the top. But anyway, Gino, what do you have to say?
What a ridiculous metric to use, by the way.
I am pretty triggered right damn now.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Sleeves up.
Episode 292 of the review, July 2nd, 2024. Virtue said, and I quote, "If you don't want to put him in the title picture, that's fine. At least give him someone relevant." We're having the same problems a year plus later.
Yep.
Accurate.
And has he been hurt? I know he went and he did the Adam Sandler movie. That probably didn't take that long. Has he been hurt? I don't think so.
No,
not since he's came back.
No, he's only hurt after World's End, and when he came back at whatever show that was where he attacked Adam Cole. That was
Double
the
or nothing. Yeah.
I believe that the entirety of the AEW company could be built on his back. Call me crazy, at me if you want. People in the comments are saying, how can we talk about AEW if we're not currently watching? We all used to watch at some point, and then the booking and the time that it takes to watch these shows isn't worth our investment somewhat. We'll watch the MJF stuff. They're having him come in and do silly run-in, whatever is the most recent thing. Oh, yeah, he got married, whatever. Virtue, you said it in the chat the other day. Like, it doesn't feel like he's being booked the same ever since he called Tony Khan a mark. MJF is supposed to be doing that. That's his gimmick. He says the stuff that everybody is thinking and nobody has the confidence to say. That's what a freaking heel's supposed to be.
Don't have an aneurysm there, Gino.
Hey, Gino.
I am so upset because AEW did whatever they could to freaking re-sign him. And I'm going to do my best to not swear, even though we get one. But
Say that for him.
they re-signed him. He gets that stupid tattoo. I think he's had it since removed back then. But they put him into that feud with some no-name whatever guy. No offense, I'm sure the guy's a great guy in person. But you only have a few names that other people even recognize in AEW. MJF should be at the top. I'm wearing this shirt for no accident. I believe that MJF is an amalgamation of John Cena and Randy Orton and should be booked like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and
They are so clearly intentionally ruining MJF so that because they know he's gone to WWE next time his contract up. There is no way he is re-signing with AEW after all of this. He had a feud with his freaking mother, and Tony Khan can't handle him getting ratings by calling him a mark? His mom is coming to shows every day saying, my son's an a-hole.
And Gino,
let's go.
For the people who are like, we don't watch AEW, how can we comment on it? Okay, we see the MJF stuff on social media, or like you said, you might watch Dynamite just to see what he is going to do, but then you turn it off when you know he's not on the show. That's the point. You have a guy that we want to see, if you book him right especially, you have him on the show, you thread him throughout, you make him the focal point. Guess what we're watching the whole show of? To give you a rating on cable or whatever, on TBS, we're watching the show. We're watching Dynamite. That's how you make us watch.
Like WWE does. They let you know CM Punk is leading off the show. Like, I can't even remember the last time that I saw an advert that said MJF is here, and they made it a big deal that he was on the show. He's supposed to be this edgy, lovable heel. Like, kind of like CM Punk is that edgy, lovable babyface, right? Like, he was in the Iron Claw movie, came out December 2023, that led into the July, all the stuff in 2024. And then he's in another movie, a wicked high-profile movie. Okay, yeah, Iron Claw, it's kind of a depressing watch, but it still was pretty high-profile. He's in there with Emmy Award winners, Oscar winners. Like, who else in their company it has any mainstream appeal? No offense to everybody. No offense to Hangman. No offense to Moxley. No offense to all these guys, Darby Allin, whatever. Like, it's just infuriating. Like you mentioned the Woody Toy Story thing. Like he got Buzz Lightyear and now he all of a sudden doesn't want to play. This guy is still so young.
No,
Everybody that's a main event in WWE is like 15 years older than him right now. You could have him carrying your company. He should be booked to never lose. You don't put him in a title match if you're planning on him losing. I don't care if it's that thing like they do with Jade and Tiffany where we're going to book the best match possible, but we don't want them to. It's dumb. It's bull crap. I get that his family's footing the bill for it, and I'm glad that AEW exists for people like MJF to get paid and eventually go over to WWE and not have to go through NXT. No offense to NXT, no offense to all that. But if AEW thinks that this is doing anything to hurt his future in WWE, they are absolutely asinine, assa 10, assa 11. He's going to go over there, and he's going to be booked like the Legend Killer. He's going to be all of these amazing things, and people are going to love to cheer him, and he's going to, just like Becky Lynch, treat them all like crap. And it's almost, I mean, it's infuriating. I'm literally having like an anxiety attack when I saw that this was going to be a topic because I almost want to not think about how poorly the booking and the decision-making.
Hey, but you know, the defenders.
Hey, Gino, who is
Yes,
in
sir.
the main event at Forbidden Door?
Who was in the main event of Forbidden Door? I believe that was the Moxley and Darby Allin stupid lights out match, if I'm remembering correctly.
You're right.
And do
MJF
we
wasn't
still
even the main event.
classify that?
The defenders.
Did I just pass the test? I feel like I just passed the test.
Just checking with
Defenders
you.
are going to say he's got a title contract. He's going to get a title opportunity. Like, but what do you buy? Don't buy time. Like, I just hate biding time. You know, and then he wins it, and then he has it for a couple months and loses it to someone else. Like that. That's the path that this is taking.
But wait a minute. If the match that was the cage match was unsanctioned and it doesn't count, then technically MJF was in the main event of Forbidden Door.
Then that cage match should have been for free on YouTube and not part of the $50 AEW pay-per-view buy. That's the way I see it.
This
And
whole
it
lights
should've
out
been-
at the end of these shows is stupid at this point.
It
And
should have
he
been
had a
blood and
great
guts
match
on
with
Dynamite,
Hangman.
honestly.
He
And
did.
he screwed over. And every time I tune in to see MJF, I'm seeing something I don't like with him. Not because he's saying mean things to me or Jeff or the other fans or the other wrestlers, but because they're not booking him short. That would have been like booking Obafemi to lose to Javion Evans at the last NXT Premium Live event. Like we got to do things. I get it. Hangman's your guy. Maybe he's not making you fear for your life, Tony. Like, okay.
Well, okay,
He's
Gino,
not hurt.
I'm a fan of
Gino,
MJF.
we can come back to you, Aaron.
I just want to know, Gino, what should they do with MJF right now?
Yeah,
They should
that's
have
the
him
key
have the
thing.
title, and they should have him just be better, be like Gunther. Like he wrestles slow and methodical, that heel pace, that which kind of goes against the grain of the cruiserweight style of wrestling that the rest of the guys there do. And there's nothing wrong with that. And those gives you 5-star matches if you rate matches, cool, whatever, who cares? Like he should be like, I'm better than you and I know it. Is that's it. He should
And
just
now,
be
what
better than
better time
everybody and
than
know
now,
it and
too?
talk crap about everybody and carry the company and go on the talk shows and do what Cody Rhodes and these guys are doing outside of the ring.
What better
I
time?
don't know
than
if that'll
now?
work or not, but I mean,
Am I
I-
delayed or something?
No.
No,
You
Gino
don't
just
just
keeps
have
on talking
to
over
wait.
you.
What,
This is
what
on
better time?
Yeah, and I'm here for
what
it.
better time than now? While win the world title, beat Hangman Page, be the heel champion, and have people chase you. That's what they're doing with Seth Rollins in WWE. Just saying. Okay,
All right.
Aaron, go.
Well, I don't even think MJF should be a heel, but that's
Well,
a whole other issue here.
Oh, we're gonna be here all night. You start down that thread. Oh my God, stop.
I think the biggest mistake was reverting back to being a heel. I think that MJF's character needs to evolve, and when he was babyface as champion, I felt like his character was evolving. He just went back to the old routine, and it just didn't have the impact that it did a few years ago. I think in order for a wrestling character to have longevity, they have to evolve and change and be different from what they were before. And I think that's the problem with MJF right now, is that he just feels like a watered down rehash of what he was 3 to 4 years ago. And I think that was a mistake, turning him back heel. And to AEW's credit, there have been things going on. MJF did get injured. You brought up World's End Jeff. He was injured and out of action for a while. Then he had the Iron Claw movie. Then he had the Adam Sandler movie. So they have excuses. And then he did get married, so that can explain why he wasn't on Dynamite the last few weeks. But then he pops up on a random collision after his wedding. He's still in the world title picture, and he might be champion again. In fact, I would bet that he does win the title, but I don't know. MJF as a heel just doesn't work for me anymore. I liked him in late 2023, and I think that was a natural evolution to his character. People don't want to boo the guy. He's like Ric Flair now. He's like Ric Flair 1998. Like, he can do the heel role, but nobody wanted to boo Ric Flair in 98 and 99. When they turned Flair in 99, it flopped. And any time after 99 that they tried to turn Flair heel, it didn't work because they were behind Flair and he was a babyface, whether he wanted to be one or not. Dirty's playing the game. He's still a good guy. And that's how I see MJF at this point. You know, the only way he can get heat is the old cheap heat. And even that, they still cheer him now. Gino?
I actually completely agree. I would be fine. I had no problem with him being a babyface and trying that out. I went to an AEW show where him and Adam Page, and they officially kind of turned him babyface. I was at that Yingling Center show in Tampa, and it was awesome to get to cheer him. And I thought for sure he was going to continue an upward trajectory. Instead of chanting MJF, we were to chant Max to him. Next week, completely thrown away. And I was just like every time I get this chance to get super inflated and high on what MJF is going to do, it just feels like it pitters out. And yeah, injuries happen for sure. I think there's a lot of mileage in him being a babyface. I think that mileage might come at another company, but I'm a big fan of MJF. Whatever he does, whether he's acting like Adam Sandler's son, and by the way, Happy Gilmore 2 is not just an Adam Sandler movie; it's like the modern Adam Sandler movie. So it's like, and he had a pretty decent role, like bigger than Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch got more mileage out of being in the movie than MJF did. And she's being the type of heel that I think he could be successful at. But yeah, I'm totally fine with him being a baby face. Like, just give him wins, especially in a company where wins matter, or don't book him against people, and put him in high level competition, but don't book him against champions if you don't want to give him the title. That's, it's frustrating.
I do really wish the Hearst to get fame went further as well, thinking about the absolute tension that he and Bobby Lashley had. And honestly, that could still be a big program to come, but they're doing the Hearst to get in a different direction for right now. So it does feel like with MJF, they have ideas, they just don't fully go through with them, whether or not that's MJF's choice, the Booker's choice, some other thing that we don't know about. Again, I don't know nothing about that. Also, I'm not on social media. I still watch AEW because I do want people like MJF and many of the great talents there to succeed because I'm invested in them. But basically, I watch Dynamite every week just to see what happens with somebody. As far as Collision, I'm not usually home Saturday, so honestly, that's just like here or there and everywhere. But I understand your passion, Gino, and to the original conversation context here, is AEW, here, I'll put it in sports context for you. I don't even watch sports. Is AEW fumbling MJF? The jury is out. He's still being booked, so I guess it's got to matter for something. Championship opportunity under his own control, but right now, that's pretty much in the shadows because him and Adam Page has to deal with the Don Callis family. So we'll have to see what happens beyond, hopefully, literally, when he defends the Dynamite Diamond Ring again for the 6th consecutive time in December, as he always does, and see if a New Year's resolution leads to something bigger for Maxwell Jacob Freeman. Maybe when the world ends, his new world begins on his pursuit to become the champion we all know that he can be and the leader he can be for this company.
Thank you, Noah. All right, Aaron, we can move on. Well, what else you got?
Well, Matthew sent in a $2 super chat, so kind of related to MJF a little bit because they were part of a faction together. Wardlow is injured again, apparently. And Matthew says, can Wardlow be salvaged at all?
No. Nope.
I hate to say it. The injury is probably going to be the end of his run in AEW. Like, he could come back, but if he has a torn pec, that's 6 months minimum that he's out.
Yeah, at least.
I just don't see them investing in him again. And, he might be injury prone, he might not, but I mean, it's really bad timing. The timing could not be any worse for him. I feel terrible for the guy. Like, it really sucks. He's one of those guys that I definitely think when he was healthy, AEW could have done so much more with. He had that organic crowd reaction that not a lot of people could get. And they had lightning in a bottle with him and they lost it. So, yeah.
We could be going on all night. That's why I only wanted to talk about MJF. But, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Injuries.
Yeah, definitely. They ruined Wardlow. And, he has been injured.
Oh, yeah.
That's been a factor as well. But there were several things that they did, like having him come out there. And he said he doesn't want to go for the world title until the two titles were merged. Remember when we had the interim champion? He's like, I'm going to wait till they're merged and then face the real champion. And then, he never did. So they just didn't follow up on it.
Yeah. And then he turned on Max, and then they did nothing with that.
Yeah, I mean, he won the TNT Championship, and then he lost it to QT, got it back, and then he lost it on the Collision premiere to Christian Cage, Killswitch of the Swords, on the flip you want to call it, and he hasn't been the same since.
He destroyed MJF, and they did not follow up on that.
No,
correct.
They did. And then, did he get hurt when he came back, or was he already hurt because of Gladiators? There's so much that we don't know.
No, that's
except
right.
the fact that he's snake bit as hell.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for that, Matthew. All right, Psycho Jet Black has arrived. Psycho Jet Black says, unless it's MJF, I don't think Tony Khan has any idea who's going to beat Hangman for the world title. Why not a shock winner like Powerhouse Hobbs?
Gotta drop the trios title first.
But I'd be fine, Psycho Jet Black. I want MJF to beat Hangman Page to be their champion.
I think he will.
And even, if heel, babyface, tweener. I mean, Roman was a heel for a long time that got the fans to like him, so he kind of became a tweener, which helped him be who he is today as a babyface. I'm fine if that was MJF's path as well with the fans. It doesn't have to be that dick heel, although that caters to me because he insults the fans and Tony Khan and stuff like that. But anyway.
Context.
Context.
I'm just going to say for the record, I think that MJF will get the title from Page. He'll be the next champion.
Agreed.
And then when Ospreay comes back, Ospreay will beat MJF for the title. That's my bold prediction right now.
I like that booking. I'm here for that.
Yeah, same. I mean, again, we talked about, things that MJF did that really catered, to his character, and when we invested in him, Face of America, Ospreay and MJF was literally his last major program.
Yeah, and they had a match. I
but
remember correctly. Yeah. MJF and Ospreay had a match, and I heard rumblings on certain people didn't think it was, it was like below Ospreay's level. What are you talking about? I'm going to be the one that probably says that was probably one of Ospreay's best matches because MJF did stuff differently. I can't even talk about what certain fans think about matches. I can't.
I suggest you don't, Bert.
There's such a disconnect of what I think is a good match and what some of these new modern wrestling fans think is a good wrestling match. So.
I see another aneurysm anyway.
All right.
All right. Well, we're caught up now, and I guess we can move to the main event.
AJ Lee, that's the main event. As simple as that. She's back. She's teaming up with her husband Punk. They're going to face Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, so they're a full-blown intergender feud here. She got, obviously, her and Brock increased ratings on SmackDown. She's getting social media views. That she got the pop, all the stuff that WWE does today. We knew AJ Lee was going to get that. Not a few weeks ago, I told Jeff, what if AJ Lee main evented one night at WrestleMania and CM Punk main evented the other? Hey, she's back. She's back. That's in the discussion now, folks. AJ Lee, Jeff Meacham, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, it's where I get like caught up in the moment or in the anticipation of something, and it just happens to be whenever somebody in Phil Brooks' family happens to return to wrestling. I was in Vegas when Punk cut his big promo. I was on my way to Vegas when he returned to wrestling. And then I ended up home Friday night. It was supposed to be at work, and the injury is what it is. So I got to watch SmackDown, and my goodness, was that a moment. It was so cool. it seems like the WWE women's roster has that special formula where they come back after being gone for years, looking and working better than ever, and AJ certainly seems on that path as well. I'm so happy for her. I'm happy for Punk to have, it seems like he's got everything he wants around him now. Everything that there were the reasons he left, he wasn't being cared for, physically or his mental health. Neither was his wife. They both left for a lot of those same reasons. Now they're both back. And it's never good to be off work for an extended period of time, but I am low key glad I'm not working on the 20th because I get to watch Cope and Christian be a tag team on pay-per-view in their hometown. And I get to watch AJ Lee's return to wrestling. It's going to be a great Saturday for me and my household, but I'm happy as a fan. It was really cool. I was on the line with my niece, and she's a big AJ Lee fan, and she was so stoked. She got it spoiled for her, pissed her off, but she still got to see it, and she was every bit as giddy as I knew she would be. And that was a
power couple, Rollins and Becky, right? I mentioned that 5 years ago. They finally did it. In terms of TV, I mean, it ain't Triple H Stephanie, but what do you get? And then now they got the good couple combating them, Punk and AJ Lee. So Tony Khan, thanks for releasing CM Punk, firing best fire. Think about this.
Yeah.
The best firing in any one single person's career has to be CM Punk getting fired.
It is now.
Like, if one person could say that's the best thing in my career, no one ever says that. No. I think Punk can say that.
Yeah. JJ was going to mention he had to step off camera on Saturday. In the opening for the Shenanigans show, they talk about Hangman Page as the worst AEW champion. Hell, not anymore. That run got us where we're at. So thank you, Hangman Page. You're no longer the worst thing about AEW.
It's a Shenanigans show.
Thank you, Jeff. You can always
chime in. Our Saturday night show over on Survival Studios. You can follow that every Saturday night.
All right.
Big G.
Yes. All right.
He's awake.
Yeah, I'm awake. I literally stayed up past my bedtime on Friday night to watch that match. But, yeah, I have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day for work.
That's fair.
So I stayed up because that was the closing segment. I usually don't jump off my couch for things anymore, or get really rowdy or loud. But when I heard her music pop off, dude, I felt like 10 years ago when I was younger, and just I was just happy, she was back. AJ Lee's back. CM Punk, he looked like he was just the happiest man on earth that his wife is back in the company with him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it, for Wrestlepalooza. I want to see how well she does in a tag match. And I told Noah and Jeff on Saturday, I feel like she's gonna beat Becky Lynch for the IC title. Because I think after that match, Becky's going to be technically her first feud. And I think Becky is the perfect person for her to have a match with, to get rid of the ring rust and whatnot. Because it's been 10 years, and the promo she cut yesterday, dude, I felt like she had not lost one step. I was telling Jeff and Noah the other day too on Saturday, it looked like she looked like she had never left. It's just that amazing for being 38 years old and still looking even better than she did 10 years ago, but yeah, so happy for AJ to be back. Hopefully she can bring some kind of rejuvenation to the women's division on Monday Night Raw, even potentially SmackDown if she goes to SmackDown. But
God knows
so
they
happy,
need it.
so happy.
And look, we're talking about one AJ. Maybe next week we can, as this develops more, we can talk about the other AJ. See if they're actually doing something with him with that promo he cut. But so Gino, I'm going to come over to you now. The one thing I'm going to go back to what Aaron has said. I think they should have done her return in France because I think it would have been more of a surprise right there in that moment, Becky. Because once they did the Chicago thing, smart wrestling fans, we just knew. And although the pop was still there and it was still very cool, and Big G jumped off his couch, to me, it's still, and it was Chicago. It was expected. I knew it was going to happen. I just knew it was going to happen. Where had they done it in France, there would have been like, oh, she's back. But anyway, that's my only little criticism, but not, it's not bad because the way they did it, CM Punk's hometown, you can't really complain. But go ahead, Gino.
I want to address that first. That is a great point, right? Like, it would have been more of a surprise and entertaining for everybody watching at home, or especially for the people in France. But either TKO, like I mentioned on reviews in the past, they really like to stretch out what they've got, right? They want to take one piece of bubble gum and make it last as long as possible. So they're like, if we can delay this, by the way, this kind of the same segment that they did with Becky beating up CM Punk. You know what I mean? Like, they were like, well, this is really good. Let's just rinse and repeat when we actually have her there. To the point where it was so expected, like I had it spoiled for me before I got to watch it because the NFL was on YouTube and I'd go on YouTube to finish up watching that game before I was going to go watch the event, and got spoiled. But I wasn't that upset because I expected it, kind of knew it was coming. Didn't take away anything from that. And then the promo package that they played for her on Raw was like special. Like, there's something truly special about having AJ Lee back and CM Punk back. It almost feels like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but it almost feels like all is right with the world as when it comes to WWE. We even have Brock Lesnar back. I mean, come on. It is like an embarrassment of riches. And if this is because of the ESPN deal, then thank you, ESPN, which I don't understand because they have their football games on Monday night and Monday Night Raw. So I'm just confused as to the cross-contamination there, but I digress. We're here to talk about AJ Lee, her Love Bites Back shirt. I believe they were selling it there too. So the whole crowd was chanting AJ Lee. So we knew it was coming, and it didn't really take anything away. I mean, like, the only person who didn't know was Becky because of how shocked she looked. Like, I mean, come on, like that, but I loved that she's playing into it. Like, bad things are about to happen. And I'm going to mention this. There was a lot of hate for the Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella title match a few weeks ago. And this is why Nikki Bella, right? And I'm going to use my girlfriend. She's wonderful. She's not like a big wrestling fan, but she'll watch it with me. Guys, there is a girl out there who will watch wrestling with you, even if they don't like it. And because she learned who Becky Lynch was because of Nikki Bella's match with her. And then I got to show her the Becky Lynch stuff when she's hitting CM Punk. And I'm like, but CM Punk's got a wife. Maybe she comes back. And then she's got this. Now she knows who Becky Lynch was when she didn't a month ago. Now she knows who AJ Lee is, and she loves AJ Lee. And by the way, can we give a shout out? I know it's in the super chat, City, and City's awesome, but therapy chant trending on Twitter because of AJ Lee and getting a chant for therapy in wrestling. Like, I'm going to mark out for that. I don't even care. Like, this is just like, again, it just feels like all is right in the world. And then she came out with the title, like, and that whole segment, it just felt so refreshingly authentic. Yeah, there were lines they were trying to hit, but they were responding to the crowd, like the chicken thing from Becky Lynch and AJ Lee's ability to redirect back into like her promo when you could tell she was definitely going off script. Like I hesitate to say real, but the authenticity behind what she was going through and what she was experiencing, letting them chant at her, all the things. It was so special. And at the end of the day, whether you watch every show, every second of it, or you just catch the highlights, the stuff that stands the test of time are moments. And this was a moment. Would it have been way better and way more unexpected on Raw and Paris? For sure. But the WWE is still an East Coast company, and they want everybody to be kind of watching it at the same time You know, they don't want half the people to check it on, see it on. We know Triple H is going to spoil the endings of the shows on Twitter if they're taking the place off. So I honestly feel like they did us a favor, even though it was super heavily foreshadowed, and they wanted to sell more tickets in Chicago and raise the prices, whatever. But we all got to experience it at the same time, or had the opportunity to if we were watching live, which I wasn't able to, but still, they cut Cena and Sami Zayn's match to pieces to give this opportunity and this moment the time to breathe. And that right there says all you need to know about the respect level and the magnitude of the moment.
Thank you, Gino. Calm down on that one. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Noah, I'm coming over to you, and then Aaron. Go ahead, Noah.
First off, nice to see that refreshing side, but I can absolutely agree 110%. It's not often I jump out of my chair in pure excitement. Like I said, I don't care about the divas or the people that are on the magazine that are your, front cover there. I care about those that are different, that are odd, that are unique, that are crazy. AJ Lee was literally the one woman of a wrestler I cared about in WWE during that time, during that era. Talk about give divas a chance. Talk about revolution, evolution, not Stephanie McMahon, not Bailey, not Sasha Banks. It was AJ Lee before anybody else. So seeing AJ Lee back absolutely is a beautiful commodity to this company, especially for the long haul. Seeing the absolute joy in her face, the humility, the humble respect for her mental health journey to get back to here is an absolutely wonderful full circle moment, both for me as a fan, I'm sure for many people that were a fan. I like how she acknowledged those fans that are like millennial parents. Of course, I'm never going to be a parent. Thank Christ. But anyway, I'm extremely happy that AJ Lee's back. It gives new life to a locker room that feels like it lacked depth, it lacked purpose, it lacked motivation. The amount of matches that we talked about that we could see on Saturday Shenanigans with the likes of her daughter, Roxanne Perez, Jeff left the studio, with freaking Liv Morgan, with Mommy Rhea Ripley, with Stephanie Valkyrie, with Tiffany Stratton, who still feels like a nod to the Divas era if you think about it. Chelsea Green, madness versus craziness. There is so much infinite new possibility in the longevity of the women's division in WWE with AJ Lee there spearheading it, especially as a workhorse. So her going after Becky Lynch's WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship makes perfect sense. I'm just waiting now to see how we move forward after Wrestlepalooza. And as far as ring rust goes, it's one thing to bump in training. It's another thing to bump and execute when the bell rings. Because there's a lot more to wrestling than just what you do when the bell rings on screen. Just saying, talk about psychology earlier. AJ Lee literally is a psychological case for anybody to study, both a fan in wrestling and a mental health advocate. Mad respect to her, as I always talk about protection mentality. So I absolutely love this, and it actually makes WWE interesting, truly for me again. Yes, nostalgia still sells, but what doesn't in the day and age of wrestling in every company? At least with AJ Lee, her past brings new life to the future in the present for generations to come of women in and out of WWE. And that's what it's about at the end of the day.
Thank you, Noah. Yeah, thank you, Tony Khan, really. Like I said earlier, fired CM Punk and WWE fans rejoice. All right, Aaron, over to you and the NoDQ Galaxy. Let's see how soon we can get out of here tonight.
All right. Well, first of all, Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Psycho. And shout out to City by the Bay, who super chatted about the therapy chant. My wife got a kick out of that one. I know Gino did as well. Psycho Jet Black says, how long until Nikki Bella confronts AJ Lee for AJ's pipe bomb where she attacked the Divas era wrestlers, easy for me to say, who Nikki was the face of? Well, we were talking about that, Caitlin and I, last night. What if Nikki Bella somehow gets involved in a storyline with AJ Lee, which could happen if Nikki goes back to being a heel, Jeff. She's said she's open to it.
I was gonna say, you put the report on NoDQ today. That's her out. That's the path. Have her turn and go against AJ. Oh, now you're coming back, and you bragged on, and maybe that's the way they get some of the other people that want to come back. There's talk about Brie wanting to come back. It depends how long they hold Brian's career path against her. But yeah, I'm for that. And I agree with Gino. Yeah, they really got on Nikki Bella's case for the match in France, and it's it is what it is, guys. And I think her and AJ both of them looking better than ever 10 years later, I think they could have a solid little, even if it's like a 1 month program. I'm here for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, Gino.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Nikki Bella hate, whether you feel like it's warranted or whether it's not, to me, it is. There are reasons to hate and there aren't reasons to hate. But if they switched her heel, because that's the only way you're going to put her against AJ Lee, and have her lean into the stuff people are hating her for, like being the rewritten history of the Divas Revolution and all that stuff, just have her be like, nah, like it was me. That's what the history books say, blah, 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 blah. You can get everybody to boo her. The problem is she brings women and young girls. There are young girls crying at ringside when she walks past them. Like,
Accurate.
That's money for WWE. So it's going to be a while. But if she leans into that and starts being brutal and like really playing into the parts that people don't like about her, like, yeah, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. So what if I got alimony? So what if I'm whatever? I'm more famous than everybody on the roster. Blah, 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 blah. Like,
There you go.
that could be special. And we talked about AJ Lee, or we talked about dream matches in the reviews past earlier this month. Like, with AJ Lee coming back, this opens up a whole bunch of dream matches now. I mean, her and Liv Morgan are both from New Jersey. Like, that's going to be a banger of a match. Like, two crazy chicks going at each other, both from New Jersey. Like,
He's sitting the ropes.
will the main event WrestleMania? Maybe not. Maybe so. Who knows?
Watch me. I mean, there's a lot of nods, Gino, that can actually happen during the Royal Rumble. And I like the idea of Nikki and AJ heel versus face for the title. Let's not forget, if you did watch the Divas era, Nikki Bella took the title off AJ from an impromptu kiss with her sister, setting up one of the quickest title changes back then at that stupid era. Don't get me started on that nonsense.
And also, her boyfriend at the time,
love you,
Bryan,
Noah.
lost the title super quick.
All
too.
it takes, CM Punk wins the men's Royal Rumble. He can challenge Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. AJ Lee wins the women's Royal Rumble. She can challenge for one of the female world titles. There you go. And Roman and Cody can still have a match or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Gino said it well. There are a lot of possibilities for AJ now that she's back. Obviously, we got the Becky Lynch storyline. She's apparently on a full-time deal with WWE, and they got this match at Wrestlepalooza, the mixed tag team match. Then they can do the singles match with Becky Lynch. And then after that, maybe Nikki Bella could be in a feud. Maybe they could do AJ Lee versus Roxanne Perez at some point. I'm sure they will. I think it's just a matter of time. It's not an if, but when. And also Liv Morgan, as mentioned. Great to have AJ back. Definitely a lot of buzz online for her return. And I thought she did very well on Raw. She fit right in. It felt like she hadn't been gone for 10 years. It felt like we saw her a week ago. Like she just fit right back in. And I liked her promo, and I enjoyed the whole segment with Seth Rollins trying to get the title, and she keeps blocking him. It was very entertaining. And at the end of the day, it's entertainment, and I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to Wrestlepalooza. It's a huge deal for WWE. Her star power, adding that to the ESPN debut. They've made the ESPN debut must see. Between that, and I know some people will say they don't care about the Brock Lesnar match, but I think they're lying. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar in one of Cena's final matches. That is huge. Wrestlepalooza is really shaping up to be a must-see WWE show, like a mini WrestleMania with the matches they have. And then I'm expecting Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Triple H did confirm that Cody will be there. It's a stacked lineup, and we got the Usos back together as a tag team, shaping up to be a hell of a show. And there's always the people online that are trying to say that WWE's on the decline and their business is going to tank. But look at Chicago, 17,000 fans. And then there are people saying AEW's on the rise. Sorry, guys. I'd like AEW to get there, but
Same.
I just don't see it happening anytime soon. And I know people are trying to
Back to
create
the
a narrative online.
They
What's
raised
that
ticket
for?
prices for a SmackDown, and they still sold out, Aaron. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and as far as Wrestlepalooza goes, talk about therapy. I have a great therapy break. I can just go take a walk during Cena versus Lesnar. That's okay. I don't have to go through that shit again.
Therapy.
Therapy.
I
You
will
see
say-
this final year, you're going to go to the bathroom and take a break on one of the final matches. Do I have to roll these sleeves up again, Jeff? Because I will.
Okay, whoa, okay.
This is justified.
Rusa.
This is justified. He had a real live
justified.
traumatic experience.
It's justified. It's justified.
Okay.
Justified.
Aaron will attest to me having to be dragged out of the Staples Center for fear of my friend's life. So I'm not going through that shit again on pay-per-view.
Okay, fair enough. My apologies.
Last thing I wanted to say, yeah, the ticket prices are a little bit ridiculous.
Yes.
I'm not gonna defend that, but hey,
Well, no.
if you can sell tickets and people will show up, then why not? I mean, it's capitalism. They're trying to make money,
Exactly.
running a business. Supply. You learn it in 10th grade in high school. Supply and demand. If there's a demand for something, then you supply it and you can charge whatever you can get for it. And that's what WWE is doing.
And that's Aaron Bibb's microeconomics lesson. Stay tuned next week. We go to macroeconomics. Good grief.
Yeah, Gino.
Virtue.
Yeah,
he
just
left.
last thing before we get to the final super chat and do our sign-offs here. I just remember the switch to Saudi shows, and everybody was hating about it. And then we got, some older matchups, but we got some dream matchups that we wouldn't otherwise have gotten. Then the switch to Peacock, and people were saying things. And then we got some other dream matches that we might not otherwise have gotten. The switch to Netflix happened, and we're getting matches that we probably were going to get just a little bit sooner now. Now we get the switch to ESPN, and we're getting stuff. I mean, who knows? Maybe they don't pull AJ Lee back for this if they don't have a reason to do Wrestlepalooza and stuff like that. So as much as we hate on the switching and stuff as consumers of the product, like, we're also being given a lot of value for what we get to watch. So I just want, as much all the hate that's going around out there about the switch to ESPN and stuff, I'm still probably going to get a VPN and go ahead and just one Netflix subscription, watch it all. But we're getting super matchups that, maybe they would only wait till once a year to do. So I thank them for that.
Thank you for that, Gino. I don't even know how to follow that.
The end must
I'm gonna
justify
take-
the means.
I'm going to take Psycho Super Chat away. The kitty cam is more over than Ricochet. There you go.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's Austin Theory.
I'll say, well, Theory's off injured, man. Give the guy a break. Jesus.
I agree. I'm a Theory fan.
I am too.
Yeah.
They're both about the same.
Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Building Nexus. Says, could AJ Lee be in War Games? Yeah, maybe,
Dude,
depending on what the
I'll
match
give you
is.
So since AJ Lee's been gone, there's been War Games, Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, anything, all those matches that never existed before she left now exist. Excuse me. And now she can be in every single one of them.
That's correct.
Yeah, so there's a lot for her to do, as we said, and I'm looking forward to what's to come here. And again, going back to the tickets and the prices of everything, Jeff, I don't like that Disneyland is a small fortune to attend, but they can get away with it. They have a product that people want to pay money to see, and will pay premium prices for.
Again, going inside, they did not allow the entire cast to have a preview of the Halloween themed event, the Oogie Boogie Bash this year. We were in a raffle for one of us to get it. That's because that thing makes money every single year. My friends are there right now getting, kind of pre-gaming, ready to go in. And I didn't get to go because it's all about the capitalism. It's all about the money. We live in a capitalist society, folks. It is what it is. You don't have to like it, but if you don't want to pay the ticket prices to go to these events, and you don't want to pay the however much extra ESPN is, then don't. Find a VPN. Make it happen, Captain.
Free will, folks. It's your choice what you
Free
do
will.
with it.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
All right, we are caught up, Virch.
All right, let's go around and do our final words. Noah Foster.
Find me if you choose, because I'm barely on social media, but I keep track of predictions leagues. And now NoDQ and Foster 1916. We're only wish to encourage you just to enjoy wrestling too. Stay tuned for a sleepy dip game for both AEW and WWE, as well as postmortems with me and Gino following that weekend as well. As always, protect your mentality, enjoy life, enjoy wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. Gino, I'll see you next week.
Thanks, Noah. All right, Jeff Meacham.
You can find me across the socials, YouTube and Facebook at Jeff Meacham, Twix and Instagram _ Jeff Meacham. Just as simple as that. And again, like I said last week, relaunching the channel full bore on January 4th. And that the show that's going to go up that day, just every once in a while, you just got to let your demons be exorcised, Aaron, in an extreme fashion.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, Big G.
Yes, so you can follow me pretty much everywhere at Original Big G1 on X, YouTube, and TikTok, and Original Big G 1988 on Instagram.
All right. Thank you, Original Big G. All right, Gino.
All right.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on YouTube, Papagino0017, and thank you so much to the NoDQ Galaxy. Thank you so much to the NoDQ panel, Aaron and Virtue, for giving us the opportunity to talk about this. Whether we're happy or angry or mean or nice about what we're watching, we all want wrestling to be as good as it can be.
Yep.
So that's what we're here for, is good wrestling and both companies building each other up. That's what competition does. So thank you so much. And as always, I will catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you. And in 2 weeks from now, you're the moderator. Colin's next week, of course. If Colin cannot, Gino, that's how we roll. You will be next week. So
Sounds good.
stay tuned. All right, Aaron.
Wonder if Walter's coming back soon. He asked who's hosting next week. It's been a while.
Me or Colin. So reach out to Colin first.
I always figured he was
Been a
busy.
while.
I thought Tuesday nights was bad for him. That's why I just
Well, he
kinda-
just moved.
I mean, and we always have like 6, like before I know it. And he's kind of always, if you need me, let me know. And we always have full panel. So if he wants to be on, he can be on.
All right. Yeah, like Gino said, we all want wrestling to succeed. I mean, I would love it if AEW could actually cause WWE's business to decline. I would actually really like that, because I don't like to see any corporation get too big. I want a corporation to sweat and have their back against the wall. I don't want WWE to feel too comfortable. I want AEW to push them and make them feel like they have to change things up. So yeah, that's what I want. I wish AEW could step things up. You know, that would be the best thing for my business if we had more fans, more people invested. So anybody out there that says like I'm just wanting to see AEW go away, that is absolutely not the case. You know,
No.
I want to see them grow. I want to see them get bigger and be competitive with WWE. And I don't know if moving the time slot is the right move or not, because now WWE is just going to keep doing it. But they are earlier in the day, which I do appreciate, at least as far as the coverage and everything. It's easier to do it early in the day. So I'm happy about that. JJ, shout out to JJ. Just wanted to give a cheap plug for Walter's interview with Douglas Malo, who was involved in the Raja Jackson incident. You guys can check that out over on Rage of Wrestling. And I think I have that plug for Walter, if I can find it here. Oh, here we go. There you go,
Hide
guys.
your wife, everybody. Hide your wife.
Hide your kids. Hide your
wife.
Oh,
It's
good
Jada
Lord Almighty.
Parker.
Good Lord Almighty.
There you go. Rage of Wrestling. Follow Walter Cruz on there. And I guess that's my plug, since you know where to find me otherwise. Virtue, go ahead and
All
sign
right.
us off for the night.
Follow me on x.com if you dare at NoDQ_Virtue. And be sure to go to NoDQ.com/merch and get the shirts, like the Debate King shirt that I am wearing. But that is it. That is it. This has been the NoDQ Review 352. We'll be back again next week. Colin should be the moderator. For Colin, for Aaron, for Gino, for Noah, for Jeff, for Big G, and the whole NoDQ crew and galaxy, good night, everybody. We'll see you next time, and push MJF to the top, and don't look back.